What's up, fight fans? Your boy Mickey. Um, I just wanted to say one thing. Like a lot of people don't really understand the fight game. They don't understand, being a fighter and what it entails and everything of that nature. It's like, I heard a lot of people after this Jaron Boots Ennis and Stanionis fight saying that, oh, they shouldn't have stopped the fight. He could, he wasn't out on his feet or he still could have continued and everything. Why did his corner stop the fight? See, people don't understand when you getting beat up in a fight, it's worse than getting knocked out. Like getting beat up in a fight can psychologically damage your career. Like people don't understand. These are the reason why, like a lot of the heavyweights and things of that nature, when you're brutally getting beat up, that would get you that punch drunk talk. That's what gets you those brain damage situations. See, getting knocked out, it'd be better for you because you can recover from that. Usually, depending on how you got knocked out, I will always say that depending on how you got knocked out, that's the time you should take off. But if it's a clean knockout, some people get clean knocked out and, they might sit around in the ring for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes or something like that. And then, they can go about, after they go to the hospital, do some tests and all of that other stuff. But what I'm saying is when you get physically beat up, like when you're getting punished, it does a psychological damage, not only a mental damage and a physical bodily damage. Some people never recover from that. You know what I'm saying? You'll never recover from a brutal beating. It's like if somebody was to stand over top of you and beating you beating you half to death, and you're crying out in your mind because you can't talk because your mouth, you done broke your jaw wide shut. But in your mind, you crying for mercy. Please stop. And he's still beating you. Wouldn't you want him to stop? Yeah, but see, this is what the fight fans, because the fight fans don't care. I'm telling you this right now, because we're the Romans. The fight fans, they're the Romans. This is the Roman Colosseum. This is the, Maximus, kill him. This is the thumbs down. What I'm talking about? This is what combat sports is. It's the Romans. We're in the amphitheater where Julius Caesar and all of these, Roman kings and Roman lord, whatever they called back in the day, they want to see blood and guts. They used to take the Christians and throw them into the lions for sport, just for show and for amusement, entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? This is what fight fans, they don't understand. Being in there is one thing, but being in the stands is another. So fight fans don't care if a fighter dies in the ring. If he dies, he dies. Like Draco, they don't care. They don't care. They want to get their money's worth. That's what fight fans want to do. And they feel like they're cheated when you have situations like what Boots did to Stanionis. He beat him, man. He was beating the boy. Man, if the boy would have came out in the 7th round, man, he could have did some damage, man. You want to see people continue on with their careers because Stanionis is a good fighter. He's a straight up and down fighter. He's a come forward fighter. He doesn't have any skill, if you ask me. He's just trying to impose his will on people and out not even box, because it's not boxing, it's brawl. He's a brawler. You just outbrawl them and with his strength and everything. That's what he's about. And you could tell that the situation that he was in with Boots just outthought. It was the IQ was way higher than him. You know what I'm saying? But all of these people are saying, it shouldn't have been stopped. It shouldn't have been this. But from a boxing eye or a boxing standpoint, that was a good stoppage. That was a good stoppage from his corner, because, man, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. See, because the fighter, he'll die in there because he has a heart of a lion. And most people don't understand that, but his corner will see, nah, man, you taking too many shots. You getting your body, man, them body shots, man. I'm telling you, he might have been pissing blood today. I guarantee you, this whole week, he probably pissing blood. Listen to me, man. When you hitting somebody in the body, them kidneys and all, man, you damaging them, man. I bet you right now, today is Monday. I bet you Stanionis I bet you he can't even lift his arms. I'm telling you, man. When you come from that lifestyle and that sport, the fans don't see this part of it. They don't see when you in the hospital. They don't see when you hooked up to an IV and they doing the MRI on you and all of that, a CAT scan, and because your brain got, shook and everything. You got swollen, you're bleeding out of the nose. See, these are effects from the inside that the fan don't see. And so that's why I want to come on here and tell you, man, it's not what you think it is. I understand we paying our money to see these fighters risk their lives in the squared circle and everything, but you got to have more compassion, more empathy to understand that the boxing arena, it's a brutal sport for a reason. People die in there for real. But like I said, I know you don't care as a fan of boxing, because I'm not a fan, I'm an admirer. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I told you, I always feel like I can do, if I'd have stayed focused and not been trying to chase money and chase all this other crap before I found Christ, doing all that dumb stuff, I would have been just like them, because I feel like I got the skill and all that. But enough about me, because most people probably won't even believe me or whatever, but I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Regardless of what people think, I know what I'm talking about. And to see somebody get beat up like Boots was beating up Stanionis, because like I said, Stanionis really doesn't have any boxing skills. He didn't really have no boxing skills that could really impress somebody to pick him as the winner against this slick, elusive, young, quick, fast, crazy footwork fighter in Jaron Boots Ennis. That's why people People look at Jaron's last couple of fights before he had with Stanionis and don't know that. See, because you don't know somebody's name don't mean that they can't box. Like Karen, he could box. David Avanesian, he could box. Even though, Crawford did what he did to him. David Avanesian could box, man. Karen could box, man. Karen had more slickness and everything than Stanionis did. So did David Avanesian. That's why Boots brought him in the camp. Because remember, David Avanesian was in camp with Boots, getting him ready for Stanionis. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that most people don't know nothing about boxing, like, rest in peace, Roger Mayweather said. Most people don't know nothing about boxing. They only see what they see, and then they follow behind what is popular as far as the name of a fighter. And that's where they come to the conclusion of, this is my man. This is who I like. I like him because everybody's on him. Everybody like him. And then who he fighting? Man, I never even heard of him. This guy gonna beat the bricks off. And you don't understand. This is a sweet science, man. Just because somebody's from the UK, just from somebody from another country other than America, don't mean that they can't fight. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know how people could. That's why the Cubans had it so rough, because they came up fighting. And when you start boxing when you're at a young age, like 6 and 7 years old, man, muscle memory is something, man. A lot of people don't understand. You're better off starting at a younger age than you are at an older age. But at an older age, don't mean you still can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Half the people that you consider fans, they never even had an altercation with somebody. Not even been in an argument. For it to escalate into fist throwing, and they'll sit up here and tell you, man, he shouldn't have stopped. He could have kept going. He could have never even got a punch to the body. Never even got punched in their face or their jaw or they rib cage or their shoulders or even forearms. Man, dude. People crazy, but I just always want to come and shed some light on the truth, because people don't understand, man. It's not as what you think it is. And I guarantee you, Stanionis is feeling, and Boots feeling some of the fight too. He feeling some, because he got hit a lot. I mean, more than I would have liked him to get hit. I'm talking about solid shots too. But like I said, he was bigger on the night of the fight because he rehydrated well, and he did his thing in there. You know what I'm saying? So I always would say that, most people who sit up there and say that, Stanionis could have continued and everything, it might would have changed. No, it wasn't nothing going to change in that fight. Nothing was going to change in that fight. It was going to get worse. It was going to get worse. I mean, worse for that boy. And Jaron could have ended his career. A beating is something different than a knockout. Some people don't even understand what they're watching when a fighter is getting beat. I'm talking about a beating is worse than a knockout, man. A beating can destroy your career because you psychologically may never recover from that beating. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why you become gunshot. Just like I always use. I'm gonna close after this one. I use Adrian Broner and Marcos Maidana as what I'm saying. Marcos Maidana beat Adrian Broner up. He beat him up. And you saw after Adrian Broner fought Marcos Maidana, he was psychologically damaged. What we call gun shy, he won't throw his punches. It's because he's psychologically damaged, man. And Adrian Broner was never the same after he fought that fight. Comment below if you don't believe me. Comment and let me know what you think about what I just said. Like, share, subscribe. Always, man, we love you. We love our new subscribers. Thank you for coming to Ski Mask Way Boxing. MikiBlik. I'm your host and everything, and I appreciate all of the love that I've been getting lately and all of the people that's been communicating with me through the comment section. I always try to get back to whoever comment or whatever. So I thank y'all for, rising my channel up to a level where I'm so happy that people are really receiving the things that I'm saying. So I appreciate the subscribers and the comments that y'all have on my videos and everything. So like we always say, man, boxing is a gladiator sport. It's for gladiators only. But I always say to all of my fans, never, 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 never forget that Jesus loves you. Amen. Amen. Y'all take care, fight fans.